Welcome back to the channel. My name's Gaming Tech. How are you all doing today? We are having another little look at the Last Caretaker. I've been playing this a little bit off stream at the moment because I've had no internet or anything like that. So obviously by the time you see this, it'll be all up and running again. Currently waiting on a new router coming in. So hopefully that'll not be too long. It's been annoying. But so much content that I was wanting to do, shorts and all the rest of it, and I've not been able to. It's been a bit of a nightmare. It's like going back into Stone Ages. Anyway, the purpose of this video is to have a look at the oil rig. Yeah, so I've been playing about, like I say, offline. I've managed to get myself to the oil rig, because obviously during the streams and stuff like that, one of the things that's coming clear is the need for fuel, and I've seen on the map there's an oil rig, and that's where we've come to. So I've been playing about and I've got it set up so that I'll be able to produce fuel, so I can refuel the ship and stuff like that, and possibly even set up like satellite stations and stuff like that, different locations. That's what I'm thinking. So let's have a quick little tour of the rig and what I've been doing. Originally, the oil tanks when you come onto the top deck are here, but I've moved them. I've now got them over here, so I've got the two oil tanks here. As you can see, pretty straightforward. I've got it all piped up, so it's all nice and neat. We also have the distillation tower, which uses the oil to produce fuel, diesel and plastic. So I've got that piped up as well. And then we've got obviously the pipes coming off. So I've got a spur coming off of here with oil. Then we've got the diesel, and then we've got the fuel coming down over here. Coming down there and running along there. Now we'll go have a look at that. It's pretty straightforward. Basically running along that deck there, goes along, and then it's dropping down to the lower platform. My original hope was that I'd be able to actually build the tanks on top of the elevator, because I thought the elevator would be an ideal place to have the tanks, but unfortunately, unless they've changed it, at the time of building, it wouldn't let you put... Yeah, it doesn't let you put tanks on the elevator. So my idea was, originally, to have the tanks on the elevator, have it all hooked up here. Once they're full, disconnect them, go down, and refuel from there. But unfortunately not able to do that, so I've had to actually get the tanks... I've got the tanks down on the lower deck, which we'll go see in a few minutes or so. Typical, trying to do a recording, it's starting piddling down with rain. Oh well. Anyway, so that's essentially our oil rig at the moment. Obviously I've got power over here. I've got 4. I've just went for the class 2 wind turbines. I didn't want to use too much resources in the wind turbines. I've got 3 of the middle solar panels, but I've also got, actually up on the other side, got to go up over this way. It's a bit of a pest. Go on this side of the platform. Oh, actually put another 5 solar panels up here, but this is the class 3 ones, the max ones. So I've got them up here as well. And they're obviously supplying power to this room in here. Oh, up here. Getting lost in my own rig. Power into here, just so it keeps it all powered. Now, I'm not too sure how much power I actually need. I've not run this yet. I was actually saving that for the video, so we've not run the system yet, so it'll be interesting to see how it works. Obviously we have got the oil pump down there, so let's go down there and have a look. just take the shortcut. The oil pump piped in. It's just going straight up there. Nothing too fancy. It's always on. I've actually got it turned off up the top because I was having an issue with this, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, you've got pipe connections there as well. I did initially have this running from here, but I've since disconnected that. I need to finish disconnecting it. You can see there's the pipes coming down, and they're going down to the tanks downstairs. But we'll go have a look at that in a minute. What we'll do is we'll maybe get this turned on and actually make sure everything works, because I've not actually ran it to produce fuel yet. So it'll be interesting to see how it works. Hopefully it does work fine. We've obviously got another oil connection there. I actually found it a lot easier just coming straight up out there, just because of how I've got the tank set up and everything like that. I suppose if I had the oil tanks where they originally were, you'd be able to have that cable coming up here for the oil. So that'd save faffing about all the way over there. But I suppose it's 6 and 2 3s and how you have it. Either leave the oil tanks there and have their actual connections coming up here. Probably make it a little bit neater, and then just have the pipe work running along here for the machine. In fact, you could have the machine elsewhere, you know what I mean? This is just how I've set it up. Just give you an idea what to do. It seems pretty straightforward. But like I say, I've not actually ran the fuel sides of it yet. If I even turned this on, that's not on yet. Now, obviously, I did run into a problem when I was just running to fill these tanks up again. So I've ran the oil to there. But what I found was, after they had filled, you'd expect the oil pump to turn off. It doesn't turn off. So it'll constantly run and actually drain your batteries down. So if you're not running the system, I would just turn that off there and just make sure it's not actually running the pump. So hopefully that'll get fixed in another patch, because a lot of the other machines, when they run out of resources, stop. But for some reason that oil pump just keeps pumping. So hopefully that is a bug. But if it's something that you've got to keep running, then it's not really that much of a problem. But obviously, depending on how much oil and fuel you need, yeah, that could be a problem. So, right, let's turn on this. Let's get this up and running. Let's see if it actually works. I'll leave the oil turned off at the moment, because we've actually got plenty of oil there. Ah, now, I've just seen it's actually taking oil from the oil tanks down below. So I'm going to have that set like that. So it's actually sucking oil up from the deck below. Right, so that seems to be running. Seems to be running quite well. Let's come up over here. Oh yes, actually looks pretty cool. It does look cool. Right, let's go down the elevator. Let's have a look, see how it's all running. I'm not too sure on the quantities of the diesel and petrol. I don't know if it's evenly split or if it's just not as much petrol to the amount of diesel you're getting. In fact, I don't even know if you can run it separately. You can see there it's actually pumping in a fair old bit bit of diesel there. We've got 2,000 litre tanks. We're over 1,000 already. Whereas the petrol's hardly given any, so it looks like you're getting more diesel than you are petrol, which is fine. You certainly need a lot more diesel than you do petrol, I would say. So I might end up adding extra tanks for the diesel. We'll just have to wait and see how it works. And then obviously over here I do have a couple of oil tanks, because what I was thinking is maybe putting oil tanks on the ship so we can then maybe set up remote stations elsewhere, because obviously you need the oil to produce the fuel. So that's another idea. Again, might end up doing more oil tanks so I can have a bigger setup, maybe save on trips. But yeah, that's how it's looking. Let's get the light on, get it looking a bit better. But yeah, I must admit that does look pretty cool. That does look pretty cool. You see there, I've almost got a full diesel tank already. Yeah, so we're hardly getting any petrol out of that. That's interesting. Right, let's go up and have another little look. See what's happening up here. Yeah, you can see there we're getting a couple of bits of plastic. So we're getting plastic every so often, which is always handy. I suppose you could always set up one of these machines on board the ship as well. That's another way of doing it. So you don't have to set up satellite stations, but then you could have this big hulking machine sitting on the deck. But it could be quite cool. Doesn't seem to be too greedy on the oil either, which is pretty good. Like I say, we've not turned on the oil pump yet. I think it'd be pretty cool to see if this would actually sustain itself if you left it running. That would be providing that would turn off when you finished. I suppose if you're constantly using it, then it might not be too bad. The only drawback could be power. See how much power we're actually using. Although it doesn't seem too bad, to be fair. Let's have a quick turn on of the oil and see what happens. Certainly given a lot of oil, that's for sure. Right, let's have a look at our power usage now. It'd be good if they actually had a screen or something like that that gave you your power inputs and outputs and stuff like that. Yeah, it seems to be working alright. I think what I'll end up doing is I'll put in more solar panels. Get more solar panels up there, and it's essentially free energy, isn't it? I suppose the other thing that you could do is have the petrol hooked up to a generator, which would generate some power as well. Yeah, so we'll have a look over here. You can see we're getting 36,000 litres of diesel per hour. And we're getting 3,600, so it's 10 to 1 for your fuel, which is quite good. I don't know about plastic. I think plastic just plops out every so often. I end up with a nice old pile of plastic, which is always handy, something we're always needing. looking at this, I think we're getting 36,000 litres of oil per hour. I think that's what we're getting. It seems to be like that. Yeah, 36,000 litres of oil per hour. In fact, if we just do that to input, then we'll get a better idea. Yeah, so we're getting 36,000. Yes, that's always good. And I suppose you could have it so that tank's always full. And I'll just keep on top of that one. Now, why were you beeping? Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Now, I'm presuming we need to have the petrol getting produced as well, so if we turn off the petrol, yeah, so it has to be producing the petrol. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so let me know in the comments what you think. Have you already set up your fuel station? Have you done something similar, or are you doing something different? I suppose you could set up 2 of the machines, so you can maximise your fuel outputs, especially if you're wanting to do it quite quickly. And it's just a shame that doesn't seem to stop. If I turn off this machine, let's test it, see if it stops. Oh, that time it stopped. Alright, okay, so it could be viable to keep it running all the time. And when the machine stops, it'll automatically cut itself out. Let's do another little test. Let's turn that back on again. That's up and running. Let's shut off the petrol. Because obviously, one way or the other, it's either going to be the petrol or diesel that fills up first. So the machine should shut down like this. Now, it'd be interesting to see. That's now turning off. Now, when I was doing my testing for the oil pump earlier, it wouldn't shut off. So that's good. So you could potentially leave this running. And then once it's full, that's it. So it's basically low maintenance then, isn't it? The only thing we might need is maybe more solar panels just to keep on top of the power, but I think we might have enough battery packs to possibly do that. Obviously, one more thing before we get finished up in the video. I just want to thank everyone, and I mean everyone, that's been commenting, liking, subscribing. The channel, since I started doing the videos on The Last Caretaker, it just exploded. I certainly cannot thank you guys enough. Very much appreciated, and hopefully I can continue to make decent content that you'll enjoy, whether it's this game or other games. It'd be good for you guys to hang out. Very much appreciated. So I think the next video I'm going to be looking at upgrading the ship. The ship certainly needs a few upgrades, because at the moment I've only got one fuel tank, one of each. So yeah, I think we need to do that. Now, actually, there is another set of tanks. There's actually a set of fuel tanks over there. Let's go have a quick little Daisy Duke at that. Down here, if I come down here. I've got other tanks, so I could actually utilise these tanks and maybe add in extras. So you can have extra tanks up here as well as downstairs. If anything, I'd maybe change them to diesel and do all diesel up here. And then maybe add an extra petrol tank down there. I'm not too sure. Or do another row of diesel down here. And it's easy to hook up, isn't it? Kind of just got to hook up straight into there. So yeah, that would actually work pretty well, I think. So there's another idea. You could always just have your tanks stored down there as well. I think to get the maximum amount of fuel, I think that's a good idea. And let's just see if that's actually all stopped now. Yeah, it looks like the oil pump stopped, so that seems to have fixed itself, which is fantastic. So actually, that did not take long at all to fill up, and I think if we actually have a look, I think we have plenty of power. Oh yeah, we've still got plenty of power left. Yeah, so I could add an extra couple of batteries maybe, and then extra solar panels, and I think that should be good. I don't think we'd actually need the wind turbines, to be fair. I know obviously they'll run in stormy weather and stuff like that, but if you've got enough solar panels and batteries to keep it topped up, I think you'd possibly get away without the wind turbines, so you don't have to keep maintaining them. Let me know what you think in the comments. But anyway, let's finish this video here. Like I say, thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. And again, thank you very much for all the subs, comments, likes and shares and all that stuff. And let's see if we can keep it going. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, because we are getting very close to a 2,000 sub goal for the end of the year. I certainly wasn't expecting it to get so close so fast, so thank you very much for that. Obviously, please do smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell. And as per always, I'll leave a link on the left hand side for the series, as well as another video YouTube thinks you might enjoy. So until next time, take care, bye for now.